Yeah, what's poppin', guys? You got your boy Andre here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, I'm playing some Reanimator Shadow. I do apologize for like my low voice and whatnot. I just woke up again. Anyway, so this is gonna be like both the intro to building, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the console games in the same video because I have the time to do that today. So, well, maybe I have the time to do it. I'm not 100% sure. I should probably double check on that. Anyway, I'll definitely at least talk about the deck, and then like if it goes too long, then I'll go ahead and I'll save the console games for tomorrow. Alrighty. So for you might not know this, but like one of the archetypes I like a lot in card games is Reanimator type strategies. Like for example, if you've played Yu-Gi-Oh, then you know that I like stuff like say zombies. I also like blue black Liliana control from like MTG, and so on and so forth. I also like Nazoth from Hearthstone as well. Anyway, so the deck has a lot of really interesting synergies and things like that I like a lot. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of like sad about like Reanimator or whatever because they don't think it's like that good, at least in the form that exists right now. I don't really agree with the statement. Like, I think it's actually really good right now. Could it be better? Possibly. Will it be better? That's a question for another day. Anyway, so 3 Lurching Corpse. I really like Lurching Corpse in the format. Like, it's a nice card because like, it kind of like it deters certain things from happening. Like for example, if you make a board plus have Lurching Corpse, your opponent needs to use AoE as opposed to using Bahamut, because if they use Bahamut, they're gonna lose their Bahamut. That's usually pretty good. It also combines with Demonator to draw you cards, and of course Necrosessence to pop 2 things at once. This is really a good card. Like it helps you like do something in the early game, so you don't like feel bad about like not doing anything in the early game. 3 Demonator. So it's very important that you like actually dig through your deck. So one of the things with Reanimator is that like you need to both find your Reanimator pieces to actually get them into the graveyard, but because we don't have like a way to like pitch from the deck to the graveyard, you have to actually play these cards first, or try to draw into them so you can burial rate them from your hand. And the Demonator lets you do that. The Demonator also has some, still some of the same old combos with some of the other parts of the deck, such as like, for example, the Lurching Corpse, Bone Bug, Andre, Immortal Thane, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of nice. Just having additional synergies other than your core function. 2 Andre. So Andre is pretty good. You don't really like want to go out of your way to like evolve the Andre. At least I don't from the games I've had, because like I usually find to have like something to do. However, the Andre's just nice in the early game to help you like smooth out some of your draws and whatnot, and that's usually where you want to be at. Some games you will evolve it, but for me, I found like from the games I played, I didn't need to evolve it like ever. I think there was a game where I was almost going to evolve it, and I just didn't do it. 3 Gleaming Necromancers. So this actually is part of a big deal. It's part of a big deal. Like, so I know a lot of people kind of like said this card was gonna be like shit, or it wasn't gonna be like good. And I guarantee you, the majority of people who said that have never played an MTG. So this is a looting effect where you go ahead and you draw a card and you discard a card. But in this case, you discard your card first and then you draw your card. So this is just really good, just because like it's one of those cards that like it gets better if you understand. If you're someone that's like, I guess like in a way good at drafting, because you'll understand what you can afford to toss away and what you like need to keep. Some games you won't be able to toss it. You won't be able to like bin your Zeus or whatever into the graveyard. But some games you'll like randomly bin, like say Andre or whatever, or say whatever card in your hand at the moment isn't going to actually like do anything for you in that game. And it's just really good to get good at like trying to like evaluate what it is that will and won't, what it is that you will and won't find a use for, in order to find a way to get like max usage out of this card. Because like you will obviously some games need to play her, because she is still the 2-1 that does contest the board early. But obviously, if you do get the chance to bin the Zeus, you should do want to take it. 3 Bone Bug. So Bone Bug is a card that I like a lot. It's a 1/3. Like it being a 1/3 is actually kind of big because like it means that like it can kill fairies, but doesn't have to worry about dealing with brambles. It can afford to like bump into like other like 1/2s as well. It can kill skeletons, which is also kind of important in this format. And also the healing, while seemingly anecdotal, does actually because anecdotal does sometimes come into play and is sometimes like useful. I've had games where my Bone Bug has like healed me for like 4 or something like that randomly. And that's not even including how much effective HP it gives you just by your opponent being forced to trade into it. Really cool card. Was also definitely another underrated card. 3 Zombie Party. So there's not really much to say here. Like Zombie Party is just nice for when you find that you have like things that you can't really afford to get rid of, but you do need to like remove a creature. Additionally, the enhanced 7 is also kind of nice because like it does give you some arts and crafts. Like one of the things I like doing a lot is I like steering the game in such a way that I can go ahead and Zombie Party them on 7, and then I can go ahead and cast Death Dragon Caller on 8, and then just kind of win the game from there, just because I kind of like take over the game. 2 Pure Heart Singer. So Pure Heart Singer, like I said, you do need to draw quite a bit in this deck, just because you do need to dig into the Zeus to go ahead and pitch it away if you need to, or go ahead and play it. You also do have a lot of like awkward rough patches in this deck, because like there are certain things that aren't really as good until you get like their accompanying piece with it. Like for example, So Death Reap Life. That's not really good until you can like make it a 10, but obviously you do need to play in the deck in order to cast in the first place. And so things like say Pure Heart Singer, they'll go ahead and they'll get you out of those rough draws. They also help because like it's another 1 mana ping in a deck that has a lot of 1 mana pings, and that's pretty good. It's also another disposable creature for you to Demon Eater. Helps with the Bone Bug, helps with Necro Assassin. Great card. Speaking of which, Necro Assassin. So this is a big one. Necro Assassin is one of those cards like I think this is a format where like we're almost assuredly, no matter what shadow deck you are, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to play Necro Assassin, just because Necro Assassin is just like very, very solid at what it does. Like it's essentially a 5 to 6 mana, because you're usually including the cost of the creature you have to play in order to proc the effect. 5 or 6 mana, blow up a unit, probably going to be your opponent's biggest unit, and then also trigger the last word effect of whatever card you blew up, so you get additional value. And you're not really like losing anything, just because like you're really just making a 1-for-1, but it's not even 1-for-1 because your creature replaces itself, so you're just getting like incremental +1s, and it's also a good way of generating tempo and forcing people to do things that you want them to do. Like for example, if you go turn 6 Necro Assassin, that usually they have to get rid of it, and that usually kind of pushes people into setting up into a spot where you can go ahead and you can play a Zombie Party for near like maximum value. 2 Series of the Night. So this is a big one. I do like Series a lot. I don't really think she's a 3-of, rather I don't really like her as a 3-of, but especially now when you have like Bone Bugs and things like that. But the card's very, very good. Yeah, like especially versus Sword, as you'll see in the concept games, just because like having a 6 HP unit is really, really obnoxious. Like it doesn't really matter so much that she only does like 3 damage. Like what matters is that like, well, once she has a grip on the board, like she kind of doesn't let it go, and you kind of have to go out of your way to kill her. And whatever usually kills her, like usually dies in the usually either dies in the process, or if it doesn't die, it puts it right smack dab into range of getting Zombie Party for the enhanced 7, and then you just kind of win. Great card. 2 Blade Fiend, aka Saber Alter, aka Salter. So this card is a big card. Like it's kind of surprising me that kind of took people like this long to realize that Saber Alter is a very, very good card. I know like last one people said that she was bad. Like I don't really see her as being bad. Like she's a 5/7 that kind of like that can come out, that can kill a creature. Sometimes it doesn't even need to evolve if you don't need to, and that's very, very important at Shadow, because Shadow does use their evolves usually not for face damage, so she kind of helps with that, just because like when you run out of Eva as a shadow, like because you don't really like, the only like board recovery tool you have is Ektar, but usually but Ektar, it's kind of a commitment, especially now when it costs like 8 shadows and whatnot, so just having her come out and just, you know, be a ward that's like really annoying, it's good for you. Oh, she's also another target for Sir Death Reap Life, which I'll talk about shortly. 1 Aisha, so to be honest with you, this should be 2 Aisha, or possibly even 3 Aisha, but I only own 1 Aisha, so for now it's only 1 Aisha. If I did make cuts to this, I would probably cut the Odal for a second copy of Aisha. Anyway, so this is part of the why play Reanimator. Well, one of the things that occurred to me, like before I even started playing like this specific deck, is that like the combination of Zeus plus Aisha is 15 damage, 5 from the Zeus, 10 from the Aisha, assuming you have 10 Necromancy, but this deck doesn't really use Shadows for that much, so you're almost assuredly going to have 10 Necromancy if you're just, you know, playing the game. But if you're able to do something like, say, Zeus into Sir Death Reap Life, into another copy of Zeus, into the Aisha, that's like 10, that's like 15 to 20 damage, possibly even 25, depending on how many copies of Zeus you cast beforehand, and that's a lot of damage, and that's usually enough to kill your opponent, even through a heal sometimes, just because you do still have the early game to get you some of the chip damage you need, and of course you have the fact that Zeus is kind of a big deal. Like, yeah, there are a lot of ways to answer Zeus, but not before the Zeus has done his damage and has already hit you in the face for 5, and kind of, you know, denied you a turn. Like, I honestly think that, like, right now, like, Zeus is actually probably better in Shadow than it is in Dragon. That's kind of just, well, that's kind of funny to actually, like, say out loud, but it's true. But yeah, like, even on our own, Aisha is still pretty decent. Like, she's still a 5-4 rush. Like, you can basically just think of her as a slightly worse Geno that you don't want to play for being a Geno, you want to play her for being an Albert. But in the event where you have to play her for a Geno, she's usually not even that bad, because, like, again, your Shadow, you're probably gonna have board control of some sort. So just being able to just, like, stick a board and just kind of, like, make it even more threatening, and also as well as conserve Evos for, like, that of Thane or whatever, it's pretty good. But yeah. Next is So Death Reap Life. So Death is a card that, like, again, it's the other part of why would you want to play Reanimator? Well, this is one of your payoff cards. So Death Reap Life is pretty flexible. I actually like it quite a bit. It's one of those cards that has, like, scaling going forward, because, like, there's always gonna be a lot of cards they can like reanimate. Off the top of my head, like, really good reanimated targets are obviously Zeus. There's also Saber Altar to take another proc at her effect. You can revive Thane, you can revive Callie. You can also revive Abyss Shadler, although he's not in here. He's largely just not in here, just because, like, I didn't make the deck centered around him, although I could have, and I probably should have, because I did just get quote unquote rewarded with 3 Abyss Shadlers the other day randomly, so yeah. Alright, so I don't want to make it a 3 of yet, just because, like, one of the issues with it is that, like, there aren't as many good low cost targets to like, they have to, like, want to, like, revive. Like, for example, like, literally Saber Altar is the only one off the top of my head that I felt like was, like, good enough to, like, revive. The other one that I guess is like good, good to revive, sort of, is also Holy Knight Altea, or Heavenly or Holy Angel Altea. I don't remember what her name is, but basically the 5 mana 4/4 that evolves into a 6/6 that essentially gets to stay a 6/6 when it attacks into a neutral creature. But yeah, like, there's that one, but obviously because you're a Saber Altar, like, you don't really want to, like, play Altea in addition to that. Next on the list is 2 Odal Black Swan. Again, like I said, you will probably make this to 1 Odal Black Swan, and then for 1 more copy of Aisha, just because, like, Aisha is, like, kind of, like I said, that's kind of how you win. You can still get away with just doing the two Odal Black Swan if you want, if you're, like, short on vials or whatever. Most times what happens, I find, is that on turn 6, people will try to like get is that going into your turn 6, people will go ahead and they'll try to get aggressive for some reason, and they'll possibly leave some things on board. Well, Odal punishes that. Odal also punishes people who board lock themselves, because in the event where you board lock yourself and and your entire board just dies to the ping, well, you just gave me a 6/5 that just hit you in the face for 2, and you didn't get anything out of it because it's still 6/5. Yeah, she's a very, very destructive card. However, the reason why she's like the possible cut for white kid, like go down to 1 of her, is because she becomes like way less effective once your opponent realizes that you are in fact playing her. 3 Cowie. So to be honest with you, not really sold on the Cowie. Although this might be like anecdotal, just because I didn't actually play versus decks that actually got me to let me see how good Cowie would have been. And to be honest with you, like you can just think of this as like 3 like blank spots so they can play for like anything else you want. Because like when I played, I think versus Rune, versus Haven, and then versus Portalcraft. So basically, the 3 decks with like solid answers to Cowie. But the card's still pretty good. Like it's still something you can play on 7. Like the being able to go Cowie into say Death Dragon Caller for another Cowie is kind of annoying for your opponent to deal sometimes. But this is the format where like Cowie, as long as you're not Dragon, Cowie's usually fairly easy to deal with. It's fairly easy to neutralize in a way where like your opponent doesn't really get that much out of it, and you don't really lose that much out of it. But versus something like say Dragon, Cowie's probably gonna be a godsend. 3 Thane. So like as I was saying, Thane is one of the big like possible reanimator targets in this deck. Just because the one, it kind of comes on curve well enough with Death Dragon Caller, and then also it's kind of obnoxious to bring back with Soda Freak Life as well. But for the Thane, it's just, you know, it's still, you know, the big old Dr. 7, Dr. Boom, except in Shadow. It still does a lot of really, really annoying things, and also people still really, really hate it. Just because in a slower format, like you're gonna feel the impact of this card when your opponent plays it very, very well, and also plays it in a spot where you're kind of like slightly behind, or just, you know, plays 2 back to back, because if they do, that's just really hard to recover from. One of the combinations that I like about the Immortal Thane is that, like I said, like it can be played on 7, and they can play Death Dragon Caller on 8. The thing I like about that combination most is that if you're able to yard that's to say, if you're able to put a Zeus into your graveyard with the Gloomy Necromancer beforehand, what you can do is you can actually go Death Dragon Caller to then get a Zeus, hit them in the face for 5, and then also play a 0-cost White King. That's a lot of stats in one go. Like for like 8 mana, it's usually pretty hard to deal with, and usually kind of put people onto the back foot, and they usually kind of never recover from that. Like, which is part of like the why you'd play Reanimator, because like Reanimator, when it goes off, it goes off. It's really, really difficult to come back from it. Like especially in other card games where there one more ways to reanimate the things, and 2, you're not as confined in the way that you are in this game, where you have to actually like get the creature destroyed first in order to then reanimate it. But still, the 3 things, like still a big thing, just because like it gives, like I say, it gives more hits per the Gloomy Necromancer, because I don't really want to play 3 Zeus. I mean, I guess you could technically, but I don't really want to do that. So having 5 targets to bin and not feel bad about it, as opposed to just 2, is kind of a big, well, in reality 8 if you include the Cowie as well. But like I said, like I don't really like the Cowie that much. 2 Death Dragon Caller. So to be honest with you, I suppose you could possibly make this like 3 Death Dragon Caller. I'm fine with 2 though, just because I do usually only want to see 1 per game. Just because like with the way that like the deck lines up, it's usually just a case of you Death Dragon Caller on 8. You maybe say do something. You maybe say do whatever on 9. Probably usually just clear the way for the Zeus or maybe say the White King, whichever one of them live, to hit the face again, and they just like Aisha on 10. But yeah, but the card's still pretty good. I know a lot of people kind of thought she was gonna be like whatever, because you know she is only a 2/2, but you don't base her off her pure stats alone. Like what you base her off of is the value of whatever it is that you like revived with her. One of the things that makes me kind of sad is that like I would have preferred for her to have not be able to like revive herself, like, because that would have made it possible for me to like play like Abyss Straddler instead, in order to like try that. But unfortunately, because she can revive herself, it means that you can't actually play her with Abyss Straddler, or you're just gonna like, feel like kind of bad about doing that, because like after you play one of her, she's now going to be in the pool, so now you have to take a 50-50 as to whether or not you'll revive the Straddler or not, and that's not something I want to do. So I'd rather just make it something that I know I will always pull, which is why you're pulling the Zeus. And of course, Zeus. The Zeus is like, it's like the payoff card. It's a card that you want. They're both fine, both reanimating, and you're fine just playing. And that's also a big thing about reanimator strategies. That like you have to be fine with both actually playing the card itself and then just reviving her. Because if you're only fine with reviving it, then you're just like playing like a kind of bad deck, and just like not getting punished for not sorry, you're just like not getting punished for playing a card in your deck that you shouldn't play because you're just like trying to high roll it. Which is something that I've seen people do in like other games or whatever, which it, like I said, it almost never ends well. But the Zeus is solid just because like it's still a 5/10. It usually takes up the opponent's entire turn to deal with it. The only exceptions are, say, Dragon, who can Scyther it, and Sword, who can Momo it. But think about that for a second. In the case of Dragon, when they Scyther it, they can almost assuredly never play anything like super impactful that can like set you behind, or that doesn't just like put them on the back for several consecutive turns. And in the case of Sword, not many people run Momo in the first place, and most times Shadow is just like inherently just like favored versus Sword, and usually the combination of like Thane into the Zeuses and then on top of the Aishas as well as the Odao usually kind of tends to just like put the kibosh on them, and they just can't do anything at all. But yeah, the deck's really solid. I like playing it quite a bit. I'll definitely go ahead and try to update when I figure out what exactly I want to play in exchange for the Cowies. I don't know, like I just wasn't sold on them, but that might have just been like a bad experience talking. But yeah, this is the deck. Like I said, I'll have the console games. I won't do it this video because this video went on a little bit too long, but I'll definitely have them for you probably tomorrow. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go and leave a like. Go ahead and subscribe it if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching.